Welcome back to Antick Machine, the channel where we celebrate the heart, history, and craftsmanship of human industry. Today, we step inside one of the oldest and most remarkable trades ever shaped by man, the art of wood processing. From the dawn of civilization, wood has built our homes, carried our ships across oceans, and warmed our nights. It is more than a material, it's a living memory of forests that stood long before us. And in the heart of America, the lumber industry became a symbol of endurance and progress, blending raw power with timeless skill. In this episode, we'll witness the incredible journey of a 60-foot Douglas Fir log as it's cut, turned, and transformed by steel, precision, and the steady hands of the sawmill crew. Let's begin. It's 60 feet long, the kind of timber that once built the bones of American railroads and tall, sturdy barns across the Northwest. The process begins with a log carriage, a heavy steel platform that grips and slides the log toward the main saw. Every turn of the wheel, every push of the lever is measured and deliberate. These men know their craft. The sawmill hums to life. The old steel blade spins at thousands of revolutions per minute, slicing through the bark and resin as if through butter. Yet behind that sound, that sharp metallic scream, there's a rhythm. It's the rhythm of decades of tradition, where skill mattered more than machinery, and every cut was made by instinct. The first pass removes the slab cuts, those rough outer pieces that carry the bark and uneven edges. They're set aside, often used later for smaller projects or fuel for the mill's own boilers. Once squared, the log is turned slightly. With every rotation, the sawyer reads the grain, studying the natural lines that run like stories through the wood. The goal isn't just to cut it fast, but to cut it right, preserving strength, beauty, and purpose. Watch closely. You can see how the log's shape changes, from a raw, rounded trunk into perfect rectangular beams. Each pass of the blade peels away history, ring by ring, year by year. Inside this single Douglas fir lies more than a century of growth, storms weathered, summers endured, and countless days of sunlight stored within the grain. The head saw does the heavy lifting, slicing large timbers into cants, thick square beams. From there, resaws and edgers take over, refining those pieces into dimensional lumber, 2x4s, 2x6s, and more. To many, it may look like a simple industrial process, but to those who grew up around sawdust and timber, it's something almost spiritual. Notice how the sawyer steadies his hand on the lever, guiding the log through each pass with precision learned over years. In the early days, these men worked without sensors, computers, or automation. Just a trained eye and a steady rhythm. Today, many modern mills rely on lasers and scanners. But here, the craft remains proudly human. The smell of fresh-cut Douglas fir fills the air, sweet, sharp, and unmistakable. It's a scent that carries memories for anyone who's ever walked into a wood shop or an old barn. The slabs fall, the sawdust rises, and conveyors move the timber onward. Each new board reveals a story, from the tight grain near the heartwood to the wider rings near the outer layers. At this stage, the lumber is sorted and stacked, but every board will still need to dry. Kiln drying or air seasoning removes moisture slowly, preventing warping and cracking. The art of drying wood is as old as the sawmill itself. Too fast and the boards split. Too slow and they mold. Patience is key, a lesson every old sawyer knows by heart. As the camera pans across the mill, you can see decades of wear, rusted rails, weathered timbers, and machines that look as if they've been here forever. Many of these saws were built in the mid-20th century. Heavy, simple, and nearly indestructible. They don't make them like this anymore. The log carriage slides again. Another section ready for the blade. Sparks fly. The saw roars. Each cut brings us closer to something useful, something real. Maybe a beam for a house, or boards for a table that'll outlast its maker. Out in the yard, the offcuts are collected. Some mills reuse every bit. Sawdust for heating, bark for mulch, even chips for paper pulp. Nothing is wasted. This efficiency isn't new. It's the wisdom of generations who learned to respect both the forest and the work it provides. In the Pacific Northwest, families once built entire towns around mills like this. Life moved with the sound of the saws, steady, predictable, and proud. For many, that sound was the heartbeat of home. Today, fewer mills remain, and fewer people know what goes on behind those corrugated steel walls. But for those who still do, for those who still feel that deep connection between timber and toil, this work is more than a job, it's a legacy. As the final boards roll off the line, the saw slows, and the noise fades into silence. What remains is the quiet satisfaction of a day's work well done. One tree, once a giant of the forest, now transformed, ready to build, to shelter, and to stand once again in another form for another century. From the whisper of the blade to the scent of fresh timber, the sawmill tells a story older than steel itself. The craft of cutting wood connects us to something timeless, the balance between man, machine, and nature. Thank you for watching Antick Machine, where we keep the spirit of craftsmanship alive. Don't forget to subscribe for more journeys into the world of machines, materials, and the people who make them work.